Today we're talking about photo images of your floral design work and flowers and how they can affect the overall web traffic that you want to get for your website for your florist business. But first, before we get into that, I do want to say thank you for stopping by. If you are a floral professional, whether you are seasoned and you've been in the business for quite a long time, or you're brand new to the industry, I hope you find my channel helpful, and hopefully with luck, it will give you the ability to level up your skills and knowledge, especially on the business and tech side of business for the floral industry, so that you can really create a successful business and have a very successful career as a floral designer. Number one, your photo images really do need to represent you. And in some way, shape, or form, if they're going to do well, they really do need to be different and specific to you. It really kind of no longer works to use stock images of any wire service or any other service for that matter for your floral business. Ultimately, if you're really gonna be successful, and some people might question me on this, but it very much is true. Somehow, some way, you have to figure out how to differentiate yourself from everybody else. Because when and if customers are searching for a good florist online and they're looking for a florist in your city, they come up with 3 or 4 shops that could potentially fit the bill, but all of their photo images are exactly the same as everybody else's. That's not gonna work, and all of those shops are probably going to end up not having as much online business as they would like. So somehow you really do have to figure out how to separate yourself from the competition, because there are so many people online these days. I'm designer Frank Blanchard, AIFD, and I've been in the business a long time, and there are a whole lot of different areas within the floral industry that I have worked and I've had a lot of experience with. So I'm hoping to share some of that knowledge with you so that you don't make some of the big mistakes that I know I've had a few over the years, and I know many others have had the same. But if you are really looking and seeking information on how to level up your skills and improve your floral business, I hope you give my video a thumbs up. And if you like that kind of content, definitely subscribe to my channel down below. And if you'd like to be notified when I do upload new content for you, definitely hit that bell icon as well. So, today's topic: photo images and how they can affect how well the website for your business works. This is the week of Valentine's Day that I'm recording this video, and I'm taking the time to do this now while I'm thinking about it, and it's at the top of my mind, because I've been getting inquiries about this kind of thing just within the last week or two. So I know there are a lot of other florists and floral designers out there that are trying to sort this out and figure it out. Pictures and photo images are one of the things that the saying, "a picture is worth 1,000 words," is very much true, especially for florist businesses. And it really helps now that the internet just continues to get more and more crowded. The saying that you might have heard me say before, if you follow my channel, that different is better than better, really does help and really does make a difference in how well your online business with your florist e-commerce website, or even just your service-based florist business website, is going to perform for you. Pictures for florists, when we are not in person, face to face with our customers, really do have to represent us to our potential customers in the same way as they would if those customers were in our presence and they were seeing those flowers and floral design work right in the moment, and they can touch and feel and see the colors and style that you're presenting. With photo images, you're really trying to present that same kind of content to them on the web when they're looking at your website online. So, some things to think about that can really drastically affect how well your business as a whole works when you consider your website as a big component of that. Now, one thing I do want to bring up before I get too far along here. When you have a floral business, there are a lot of people that would like to get into the business, or maybe have started in the business because they think it would be fun. It would be so fun to have a flower business of some sort. And I will say this, it is. However, it is a business. It is a business like any other. It is like being a doctor. It is like being a dentist, a lawyer, a certified public accountant, your plumber that comes to fix your bathroom or do your remodel of your kitchen, etc. If you're in business, because you have signed your name on the dotted line, you have to produce work that is of a professional level. And I hate to be kind of blunt with this, but it's it's definitely an issue. You've got to produce good quality work at a professional level, and what you do produce actually has to look good, and it has to be pretty. That is just one aspect of getting good images onto your florist e-commerce website, or even your wedding and event website, if that's the kind of work that you do. Those images are a representation of you, but they also need to really be able to get the attention of all of the customers online that you are hoping to be able to convince to get them to buy something from you. Now, one aspect that I think a lot of florists don't realize is those pictures can be very much in the moment. They don't all have to be done by a professional photographer. You can do your photo images just with your phone. Do not underestimate the power of some of the really good smartphones out there and the cameras that are on them. They really do give you the ability to create some really stunning pictures easily and without a whole lot of effort. So, no excuses. You've got the ability to do this. It really just is more a matter of don't just quickly snap pictures, but really think about what you're taking a picture of and looking in the camera, and what do you see? Do you see all of the flowers facing you? If you are doing flowers to fill an order, that's great, and that's one way that you can get really good pictures to add to your website. It might mean, though, that specifically for the picture, you might need to adjust some of the flowers here and there so that they look their best for the picture. So keep that in mind. Secondly, is how those pictures affect the SEO of your website or search engine optimization. You all know, and you've probably heard me say a lot, that search engine optimization and enabling search engines to find your website really comes down to all of the digital text content on your website. However, the photo images, once customers get to your website, do need to draw them in. They do need to pique their curiosity. They need to really speak to them and be able to hopefully show them if they buy this item from you on your website, it is definitely going to express the emotion that they would like to share with whoever it is that they want to send those flowers to. So, in addition to making sure that you're really creating good quality design of a professional level and you're getting some good, clean images of those flowers and designs that you're creating, the other thing that you really need to consider for your website is, first of all, making sure that you don't have too many selections on your website. And this is something that I want to drill home because this is one issue that I have florists coming to me all the time asking me this question, and it just, for whatever reason, it seems to be really hard for a lot of florists to grasp. For an e-commerce website, it no longer works to have lots of selections on your website. That actually works against you and can screw up your website in multiple ways. On a website for a florist business, it has gotten to the point that really to optimize your website, less is more. And you really need to focus on doubling down on what works or not. If you have things that you have never sold on your website, that would be a good example of content on your website that you need to get rid of, because everything else that goes along with that photo image, being the text content and the meta title and meta description that goes along with that image, if that's not spot on as well as the image, it's bogging down your website and it's just not going to work as well. Also, the selections on your website, if you have too many selections, it can actually slow your website down significantly. And it makes it so that your website as a whole takes a long time to load for people, especially on mobile devices. And nowadays, Google actually states that site speed and how long your website takes to load, especially on people's phones and mobile devices, is a big part of the equation in how they rank your website overall and where they place you in search results. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if your photo images are too large, that can do the same thing. So when you are editing pictures to put on your website, especially for e-commerce, it's not so much that you necessarily have to edit the picture all that much, but if you can get that picture into Photoshop or some other photo editing software or program, if you can, at the very least, save your image for the web. What that does is it compresses the file overall so that when it is used on a website, as an example, it makes it so that it loads more quickly for the person who is wanting to look at that image on your website or even social media and elsewhere. I think one of the hardest parts to be able to wrap your head around when it comes to the photo images on your website is, like I mentioned, it's got to be a really good design, it's got to be a good picture, and you have to be able to then figure out how you're going to describe that image to the viewer online. You have to think in the same terms as if that person was actually standing right next to you in the flesh. How would you describe or sell that item to them? So in digital text content on your website, you have to think about the same thing. How would you verbally tell them and describe to them and sell them that item? That digital text content is what you're working your keywords and your keyword phrases into. So those are just some of the really brief things that you really need to be thinking of when it comes to your photo images for your Florist e-commerce website to help ensure that your website works really well and gets people to stay on your site, check things out, and they are going to stay there and complete the purchase or contact you in some other way, whether it's calling your business, sending you an email, etc. The main objective is to get them to stay on your website long enough that they actually complete whatever call to action you're asking them to do. So hopefully today you found that information helpful, and once all this Valentine craziness is over with, this is something that every florist needs to work on to a certain extent in order to help make sure that your website works as well as it can. Again, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And I've got some other videos over here on the end screen that you might want to check out next that can help continue your process of optimizing your florist website to the best that you can do. Until next time, I will see you very soon, and I will see you over in the next video. Bye for now, everybody.